welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're going to be making a strawberries and cream smoothie. And this is going to be one of those recipes where I sort of make it up as I go along. So we're going to be using some leftover mixed berries, some strawberries, these are both frozen, some Greek yogurt. This is the full fat, whole milk, plain Greek yogurt. And I'm going to be putting in some cinnamon. And then to go on top, or maybe to swirl into it also, I'm going to be making some homemade whipped cream. So I have here some heavy whipping cream and also some sugar. That's what you need to make your own whipped cream, and it's so much better than the whipped cream in a can. Alright, let's get started. Alright, I'm going to start by getting my mixer ready. Now you can mix this up by hand with a whisk, but it will take you a really long time, I'm just warning you. So I prefer to use the electric mixer to make whipped cream. Alright, now we have here 1 pint of heavy whipping cream. There is 2 cups in a pint. So the rule, I believe, is 1 tablespoon of sugar for every cup. I always forget because I always end up cutting it down to a little bit less anyways, because I don't like mine to be as sweet. So I'm gonna I might try and get away with a tablespoon and a half for this whole carton. So I'm cutting the amount of recommended sugar down by half a tablespoon. I forgot to shake it. Alright, I forgot to bring my metal bowl, so I'm going to be mixing it up in this plastic one. It's better to use metal or glass, and the ideal is to put both your bowl and your whipped cream and even your beaters in the refrigerator for a while before starting this, or in the freezer, but for a lot less time if you would do it in the freezer, because you don't want your cream to freeze. Now I forgot about that step, so I'm just going to be doing this without chilling it. The chilling step just makes your whipped cream beat up a little bit faster, that's all. Okay, now I'm going to measure my sugar. So I have here a half tablespoon. So since I chose to do 1.5 tablespoons, I'm going to measure 3 of these. Now, if you're ever getting confused about the abbreviations for these, tablespoon, they'll sometimes say an abbreviation that looks like capital Tbsp. That is tablespoon. If you see an abbreviation that looks like lowercase tsp, that is a teaspoon. So you don't want to get them confused because they are different. A tablespoon is bigger. So I'm going to take my half tablespoon and measure out 3. Now if I was baking, you have to be a little more exact for baking, so I would level this off with the flat part of a knife, but you don't really have to be that exact for this, so I'm not going to bother. Alright, we're going to get started. I'm going to show you what this looks like after only a few seconds. You can see that it quickly starts to bubble. We're going to keep going for quite a bit longer until the cream actually starts to get thicker, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, I've only been beating for a few minutes, but you can actually see it's already starting to get thicker. However, that is, if you know what whipped cream looks like, you know that is not thick enough. So we're going to keep going. Alright, you can see that this is very quickly getting very thick. Is it thick enough for whipped cream? I think so. I'll go for just a couple more seconds just because I like my whipped cream to be really whipped up. I stopped after just another 30 seconds because it's now getting very thick and we don't want it to go to the butter stage. So this is just perfect. Alright, now something I just learned just now is that if you do the whipped cream in a smaller bowl with higher sides, it whips up so much faster. I think that was about 3 times faster than what it usually takes me. And usually I'm doing it in a metal bowl that is bigger and wider. So the cream sits in the bottom in sort of a much thinner layer than what it sits in a smaller bowl with higher sides. So I think having the whipped cream more gathered together in a smaller space and a thicker layer actually made it beat up a lot faster than it normally does when I do it in a bigger bowl when it's in a thinner layer. So that's something I'm definitely going to keep in mind for the future. And now I'm going to enjoy licking these beaters, and we'll be back to make the actual smoothies. Alright, you can see here I have the library's little blender, and we're going to be using these blender cups. What you do, if you haven't seen this before, is you put your ingredients in, like maybe about that full, then you screw on the bottom, then this goes in like this, upside down, and when you push it down, it blends. So basically, you want your liquid ingredients to be closest to the blades, and your more solid ingredients to be further up. When the liquids are closer to the blades, it just makes it blend so much easier. Now because this is an inverted type blender, that means I have to do it the reverse of what I'm used to, and put in the solid ingredients first. Oh dear goodness, do you think that's freezer burnt at all? Yeah, well, let's try it anyway. Yeah, okay. I think that's not good. Alright, so we're going to just use the strawberries, because those sadly did not age well. Now, these are a little freezer burnt too, but I think they stayed more solidly frozen than those, because the mixed berries were stored in the door of the freezer where it doesn't stay consistently cold, but these were stored in the main part of the freezer, so I think they're fine. So what you can do is you can actually use milk instead if you want, if you have milk. I'm going to use the Greek yogurt and then add a little water, which actually it makes the same effect as milk. Alright, let's try that. And don't forget our cinnamon. Okay, it looks like it's blended up completely. Now this is actually more liquidy than what I would think is ideal, so I'm going to add a few more strawberries. That looks good. Alright, so let's set that aside. Let's actually put this in the freezer. Okay, and next smoothie. It looks pretty good. Alright, I have all my little smoothie glasses lined up here, so I'm going to add in the whipped cream. Oops, made a bit of a mess there. Okay, and this one here is in a little dish, so you can actually see the effect a little bit better, how pretty the colors look together. Alright. Alright, thanks for joining me in the kitchen today. I hope you enjoy if you choose to make this at home. just know that smoothies are so much fun because you can play around with the ingredients and put in basically whatever kind of fruit you want, or some people even like to put vegetables in, like kale or whatever. I don't, but some people do. And you can play around with, like I said, you can do milk, you could do the Greek yogurt with water like I did, you could do orange juice or any kind of fruit juice, you could do almond milk. Yeah, just have fun with it. Coconut milk is really good too. Alright, enjoy and have a great week. We'll see you back again next week in the kitchen. Bye!